It is 5/21, week 8. Welcome. You've made it almost. Although week 8 is, all the things. Let's jump into it. First of all, you'll note that, who talks like that? I guess I do. You'll notice May 7th is a Friday. Things are not due on Sunday for you, they're due Friday before midnight. Of all the deadlines, they're all critical, but this one is like everything has to be done by Friday. Please, please, please get everything submitted by Friday, not Sunday. I will spend the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, uh, reviewing, grading your final project, um, and then submitting final grades. My final grades are due Sunday, and then they go to the registrar. So Friday, submit by Friday. Um, yeah. So it is the summation and reflection week. Week 8. The discussion board is just what you would create if you were creating this course, right? If asked by an administrator or a colleague, how would you describe what you learned in this class? In some ways, it's kind of, you know, asking you to create an elevator pitch for what this course is about. In some ways, it's you really like trying to synthesize what your learning has been and being able to communicate that in a couple paragraphs. So that's really what that's about. The timing on this, make sure that you are posting your initial discussion board by Wednesday and then 2 replies by Friday. Again, Friday before midnight. It's different this week, again, because the course ends on Friday. And then it's just right to your final e-portfolio, right? At the very bottom of the Google Doc that walks you through what the course is, you have a rubric. Please, 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 please use the rubric to double check all of your work. Use it to create all of the sections. You haven't had a lot of rubrics, which is um, a more rare occurrence, I would say, in this program. So use that rubric to create your e-portfolio. Double check. It's been one of those where you've been slowly building over the last 7 weeks. So as you submit it, double check that every row in that rubric is addressed. Just go through each row and then go to that final column to make sure it is exemplary. It should be pretty straightforward. Make sure you're using the most current APA formatting, and just really take advantage of the headings and subheadings to make it well organized and easy to read. Um, don't worry too much about it being like creative and telling a narrative. Just really focus on your on the rubric, and then this is going to be just really kind of week by week is the plan. And that is all. That is all for this week. So hopefully you had a good time in 521. Hope that you've learned a lot. Hope you've come up with ways, as the course has been described, to leverage technology for all students, and that you see, in similar ways as you've been learning about, EL students, as you come up with specific strategies for students that have specific needs, it works well for everyone. Would also encourage you to be a little bit louder in your advocacy for all students in whatever way makes sense to you. So if you're active on social media, as my mom calls it, on the Twitters, start following people who are talking about accessibility in schools. Reshare it. Start sharing your own thoughts about it. And what I'm asking for is not a comfortable thing. If you're comfortable advocating for students, then you're doing it wrong. So moving ahead, now that you've taken a pretty deep dive into what accessibility is and assistive technologies, you're a voice for those students. So when that comes up in meetings, when it comes up on social media, when you see things that are not inclusive, please take the time to interrupt that, because you now have that expertise to name what you're seeing or hearing, and then how that might be different. That's an important thing. It's an important thing that we do. And then also, hopefully, you've been finding some educators that um, are doing a lot of work around diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI), and I mean, by the end of this course, hopefully you're seeing a considerable amount of overlap with, how including others makes a big difference in classrooms and schools and districts and education in general. They are very much different things in a lot of ways, and there's also like a lot of overlap, and it's one of those things where, as educators, um, I would say, as a system in education, don't talk about accessibility and including everyone in ways that we need to. And so, yeah, we need to change that. And you are now equipped and now charged with doing so. So, regarding the course, make sure you get everything submitted on Friday. Regarding being an educator, go out there and continue to change the world. I hope you're able to stay safe. Um, if you go to a conference in the future in person, at some point we'll be having those. If it's a Q conference or an ISTE conference, I will likely be there. It would be awesome to see you in real life at some point. Be sure and say hi. If you ever have questions about any of the tech stuff for education in the future, please reach out on the Twitters, on social media, wherever. Would love to hear from you. It's always fun. You know this, right? If you've been teaching for a while, to get students that are like, hey, you were my teacher whatever ago. Like, that works for us also. So reach out, share stuff, tag me in things, DM if you have questions, or you can always just, email, old fashioned way. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing your e-portfolio, and a future congratulations on finishing up 521. Happy week 8, everybody.